Call it the rivalry of siblings. We are going to today compare the Samsung Galaxy A3 against the A5 and A7. We are going to tell you which among these three is a better phone for you. They all have a lot of similarities, yet a lot of differences. I'll highlight all of them in this video. Let's get started. The first thing that differentiates these three phones is the size of the display. The A7 is largest of all at 5.5-inch display, whereas the A5 is in the middle at 5-inch, followed by the A3, which comes at a 4.5-inch form factor. So if you are fond of small displays, you can go with either the A3 or A5, and if you like large screen devices, A5 is the one for you. In terms of design, form factor and build, they are all very alike. In fact, they all look almost the same from the sides. It's just a matter of size. The design as well as the build quality is same for all. They look very similar to each other. They have same placement of SIM card trays. All three of them are dual SIM phones, hence the duos branding at the rear. They come with two SIM card trays. One is for nano SIM, which is the primary SIM, and second is for either a SIM card or a micro SD card. So you can expand the memory by adding a micro SD card, or alternatively add another SIM in the other tray and use it as a dual SIM phone without expandable memory. The placement of charging ports as well as the 3.5mm audio port as well as the microphones is same, which is at the bottom. You have the volume rockers at the left hand side, and on top all three get secondary mic holes for noise cancellation. On the rear, all of them get the rear cameras, followed by the speaker mesh and followed by the LED flash on the other side. So in terms of aesthetics and appearance, finishing, they are all the same. On the front, all three phones get physical home buttons. They all get Super AMOLED displays, which are super vivid and super sharp, and they all look really nice when it comes to color quality. And in terms of quality of panels, they are also very close. It's very hard to differentiate. All three are Super AMOLED displays and they all are very vibrant. However, there is a difference in the display resolution of all three of these phones. The smallest one, A3, comes with a QHD or a 960 by 540 display resolution, which is less than high definition. The middle one, which is the A5, comes with a 720p display, which is 1280 by 720 or a high definition. And the largest of all comes with a full high definition 1020p display, which is the sharpest among these three phones. To give you a comparative analysis of these displays, I'm going to play the same video clip on all three of these phones and you can compare them for yourself. In my opinion, they are almost alike when it comes to display quality and color quality, and the panels on these three phones are equally good. However, if you are looking for the sharpest display with the highest resolution, you can go with the A7, followed by A5, then followed by A3. They all come with touch capacitive buttons, and the front facing camera on all three phones is exactly the same. That is a 5 megapixel front facing camera on top of all three phones. However, when it comes to rear facing cameras, the smallest of these three, the A3, comes with an 8 megapixel rear shooter, while the other two elder siblings, they come with 13 megapixel shooter at the rear. Now let's do a photography comparison among these three phones. I'll first shoot a rear facing camera picture in automatic mode with all three of them and show you the quality. So we have taken a shot with the A3, followed by the A5, followed by the A7. Although the camera is same on A5 and A7, which is 13 megapixel sensor, but there is difference in terms of GPU, and image processing may vary because of GPU, as we have observed in some phones earlier. So these are the results that we get with these three cameras. I'll slightly zoom into the image to show you the clarity as well as the quality of color production, and this is the object and these are the results here, and you can see that you are getting good results on all three of them, whereas the other two phones, larger phones with 13 megapixel sensor, have slightly wider view compared to the smaller 8 megapixel sensor, which is why you see less of content while shooting from the same distance. So in terms of quality, they all come out to be good, but in terms of width of the lens, you can go with the other two cameras, which is the A5 and A7, which are performing slightly better. Now I'll take a front facing camera selfie with all three of them and show you the quality. They all have same camera, which is a 5 megapixel camera. So these are the three pictures that I have taken, and the quality is very comparable, and it was supposed to be because they all have very similar specifications. However, there is slight difference in color tone while it comes to A7. That is probably because of the way I have taken picture, or a slight difference in angle. The A7 also seems to have larger view, but that is probably because of the larger display as well. So you have very similar front facing 5 megapixel camera. So if selfies is your primary objective, you can always settle with any of these three, the one which fits in your budget. The cheapest being the A3, followed by the A5, and then the A7, which is the most expensive of the lot. Next thing I'm going to talk about is also very important, which is the 4G connectivity options. The A3 comes with HSDPA Plus, which is 3G only, while the A5 and A7 support up to 4G connectivity. So if you are looking for an LTE 4G phone, you have to pick between these two only. The third one, A3, is simply not 4G compatible. Talking of the specifications, there is also a difference among these three phones. The A7, being the most loaded, comes with an octa-core CPU, and it is a 4G compatible phone and comes with Qualcomm chipset. Whereas followed by the A5, which is also with a Snapdragon, but this one is a 64-bit chipset with 1.2 GHz quad-core CPU. And the A3, which is the smallest of these, is with an A7 1.2 GHz quad-core. There is 1 GB RAM on the A3, followed by 1.5 on the A5 and 2 GB RAM on the A7. Talking about the benchmark scores, we ran a benchmark test with Antutu version 5.6 on all three phones, and we got a score of close to 21,000 on both the A3 and A5. They're very close in terms of performance because they have similar clock speed CPUs, whereas the A7 is better than the other two because of the faster CPU. It scores around 30,000 mark. So in terms of performance, if you're looking for a very fast phone, A7 is the one to pick among these three. Whereas if speed and performance is not your primary criteria, you can settle with the other two as well, but they are not bad at all. They come with 21,000 score, which is also moderate and decent. And since they are different in size, the battery inside them is also of different size. The smallest phone gets 1900, this one gets 2300, and this one gets 2600 milliamp battery, and the battery is somewhat in proportion to their display size, so they will all get almost similar battery performance because the battery is proportionate to the power consumption, which is also proportionate to the display. And since all three are Super AMOLED phones, they are very efficient, so they should be able to pull off one full day of battery life. When it comes to the software interface, they all run Android KitKat, but there is a difference in the version of TouchWiz that they are running. So when you swipe from this side on A5 or A7, you get into the My Magazine interface, while the same has been not provided on the A3. So A3 does not come with My Magazine. And also when you look at the multitasking menu, there is flying window multitasking, which you see on the premium phones like the Note series, whereas this phone, which is A3, has more basic multitasking because of its small size. The software version is slightly different, and it gets a different sort of TouchWiz that you get on the other two phones. The look and feel is very similar, but at the same time there are some differences in the functionality that these three phones offer you. Summing up my comparison, I can easily recommend you the A7 if you are not afraid of carrying two big phones and if you can carry them easily, whereas A5 is a good balance for those who want a pocketable size with one-handed usage and at the same time they want 4G connectivity. If 4G is not on your priority list and if you are looking for something affordable, A3 is the phone to go with. But if photography is your main aim, you have to pick either A5 or A7, which gives you better rear camera. However, if you are buying it mainly for taking selfies, you can pick either of these three, as they are all very good at taking selfies with similar camera specifications. Also, if you're a gamer, I would recommend you to pick the A7 because of faster processor and larger display size and better graphics performance. I'm leaving Best Buy links to all three phones in the description section below, so you can pick the one that you like at the best price. In the description section, the links are provided for the online stores. This is all we have on our comparison. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up by pressing the like button below. And for more such videos, make sure you hit that red subscribe button to get the latest video updates from Intellect Digest. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.